Hi, good afternoon, everyone. I'm honored to be speaking here today about my decision to make Aliyah. No? Next slide. So, I have my own October 7th story. My brother and sister-in-law moved to Israel October 3rd, so my sister could pursue a master's degree at Tel Aviv University. On October 7th, my brother woke me up at 6 a.m. saying, "Is Daddy gonna be angry I texted on Shabbat?" I had no idea what had happened, and as soon as he filled me in, we started to prepare, and he packed a go bag, and after telling him over and over again to stay home and stay safe, him and my sister-in-law walked to Ichlav Hospital and waited in line for 4 hours to donate blood because it was the least they could do. So being a trauma surgeon, I figured, how could I not go and help? I soon volunteered with every possible organization that was sending people to Israel. And by mistake, Barzilai Medical Center in Ashkelon asked me to come. Wrong direction. Okay. On October 30th, I got on a flight to Israel for what was supposed to be a 2-week stint, volunteering in Ashkelon. I went through JOMA, the Jewish Orthodox Women's Medical Association, and EVP, the Emergency Volunteer Project, with a group of emergency medicine doctors. For 2 weeks, we all worked together, helping out, triaging, and trying to do the best we could in the war situation. But I felt that 2 weeks wasn't enough time for me. And by the end of those 2 weeks, I had applied with Nefesh B'Nefesh to make Aliyah. Thank you. I was inspired by the other doctors I met. Dr. Deborah West, who is the head of emergency medicine at Asuda Ashdod, got a group of volunteer doctors from all over the country to travel all over the country teaching acute trauma life support, to help teach first responders and communities, teaching doctors, paramedics, and medics, people that haven't had to deal with these kind of traumas, the basics of trauma life support in the field, entirely volunteer-based. I had the opportunity to work with soldiers, medics, paramedics, and doctors from many different units before they went into Gaza, training them for what they were going to be faced with, how to triage injuries properly, how to deal with things as they were going, and we kept changing it based off of injuries we were seeing and mistakes that were being made in the field. We also worked with the residents because many of them had never dealt with explosive injuries before. We worked with them on how to triage and how best to work together as a team. I had the incredible opportunity to work with people who had been on the front lines October 7th, and I was inspired by their strength, courage, and fortitude. After working in a COVID ICU for 2 months here in New York in 2020, I thought I had lost my love and passion for medicine, but it just turned out that it was where I was practicing medicine and not what I was doing that I had lost. I had the opportunity to be there as soldiers came in, being the first face they saw when they got off the helicopter, and oftentimes being the first hand they held. I got to follow up with many of my soldiers who I've kept in touch with over the last 6 months and got to follow their journey of their strength and healing. I have many thanks to my incredible boss and partners at Long Island Surgical, the practice I work with, for giving me the opportunity to travel back and forth so often. And Nefesh B'Nefesh has been a life source for me. But mostly, it was seeing the fortitude and strength of my brothers and sisters in Israel, hearing all the soldiers' stories, seeing their determination, and seeing how everyone in the country came together, whether they were civilians, physicians, soldiers. None of them were deterred. No one was scared. They were all standing up more unified than I've ever seen. And I wanted to be part of that. So before I left that first deployment, before I made a second deployment up north for 2 weeks up at Ziv and Svat, before I came back for a third for a month in April, I'd already started the process. I'm in the middle of getting my Israeli medical license, which if you thought American bureaucracy was bad, Israel puts us to shame. But it's truly been an incredible experience, and I've had the opportunity to meet so many amazing people on the way whose stories have inspired me and helped me decide it's time for me to come home. Thank you.